And hello, good morning, good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, well, whatever. Welcome to another setting of Edessa's Dark Crusade. As after, uh, wait, oh, forgot to just before we start. Let's see how well Margot is doing from her nightmares.
Oh yeah, it's time for rolls.
Nightmare rolls.
Which dice roll are we in?
I'm going to set us up in. I don't know. Computer is being slow. Probably one if no one's using it.
Okay. Will Aldrich stop by and check Johannes herd?
Sure.
If
After
you're
checking
willing.
his own, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's using one. It's been a while since it was used. So. Oh,
Oh, that's pretty good. It's a good night for Margot.
That's right. It's 8d10, not 9.
man, if only I had rolled like that when I had my 21 dice roll attack roll. Pretty sure the prince, pretty sure the sheriff would be dead in one hit.
That'll do.
I'm just gonna drink a bottle.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to risk it.
Okay.
And
That works.
oh yes, hunting roll too, just in case. What's the diff in the It's 6 or 7 in the where the corridors are.
Let me look. I think it's diff 8 right now. Are you doing
Damn.
social or
Social.
Because I'm pretty sure it's a +2, but I'm not 100% sure.
Did it go up again?
It's been up. I'm looking.
Check the main page. There may have been a reduction recently.
In the guild halls?
Possibly, yeah.
Cool.
I think last time it was 7. Last time before that.
I think it's currently at a +2 in the guild halls. And the normal difficulty is 5. So yeah, you're right. 7. Fabulous.
Okay.
It's a hang on, side chat. It's +3.
Oh. Oh shit.
It's +3 now. Okay.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
When did it become +3? Damn.
Well,
there's also the noble quarter where it's probably easier. What
we should probably start the over because it's been like 5 minutes of OOC.
But yeah, well, Margot will be at her bathhouse, and she's kind of relaxing, really taking in time to just some time to relax after the horrible nightmare she had. It wasn't at all real.
That's fair. We're just going to have some visitors. Aldrich and Johanna have had a nice evening, full of not murdering anyone. And maybe a little reading, a little weaving, a little, nice evening. And Johanna is asked if Aldrich would like to take a bit of a field trip out to see a fellow lover of the arts. Pay her a visit, and so she sends a runner out to see if Margot's accepting company.
She'll smile, hearing more of Johanna. hearing that Johanna's coming with us company, and she'll gladly say yes.
Excellent. At the at the appointed time, Johann is going to pack Aldrich into the carriage, and they'll go visit.
They're welcomed by very beautiful men and women who kind of just guide them to a room where Johanna is waiting in. It's more of a it's probably a little like living room thing where people wait or where people can talk. Where she's in a very beautiful robe. She's probably still a bit wet from the bath, but she's wearing like a bath robe kind of thing, ancient bath robe looking, very silky, very beautiful, very It's a very beautiful fabric, very expensive fabric. Looks expensive, and she'll smile. Ah, Johanna, my good friend, Aldrich, good to see you again.
And you as well. It's been some time.
Johanna goes to kiss her on either cheek.
Oh, sorry, what does she do?
Sorry, she goes to kiss Margot on either cheek.
She'll smile. As it's been too long since I've seen either of you. How have you been?
Better. Things are better.
Mm-hmm.
The plague is worse, but we move soon to try to at least cut the legs out from under the wicked person who is so besieging our city. Are you busy tomorrow?
I have nothing planned as of yet.
She's going to glance around and see if there could reasonably be considered to be in a private area.
Yeah, they're probably yeah, I'll say where they are, but there are probably a few people that pass. But there's she knows there are a few bathhouses. There are a few baths where they're very quiet, and it's only the two of them. Well, it would only be them.
Mm-hmm. So she'll follow, and once they are definitely in a place you can talk freely, she's going to say, if you'd like to spend some time waterproofing some clothes tonight, we're going into the sewers tomorrow.
Interesting. I would be prepared to fight more than rats when I come.
I hope
We
so.
never know when we might encounter what is controlling me.
You're correct. We have permission to slay him if we come across him or his companion.
And she'll nod. Good. I hope it all goes well for all of us then. Aldrich, will you be joining?
Unfortunately, I have been banned, as was expected.
The Nosferatu are being a little fussy about the Tremere.
Couldn't imagine why, but he just kind of looks off camera.
Johanna lays a hand on his shoulder.
The Nosferatu do like to keep their secrets, and when they're afraid that someone is able to discover them, they get a little, I don't think, over dramatic sometimes.
And if there's one thing a Toreador recognizes when she sees it, it's someone being overdramatic.
She'll smile and nod.
You're not wrong. Wear something thick.
I have protection.
She nods. It'll be an interesting excursion. We shall see who comes to fulfill the promises they've made. But I hope that, at the very least, we can find the nests of these nasty things and clean them out.
At least I hope we will be able to make our city a little safer.
And perhaps begin the healing process.
Hopefully.
And show our besieger that he's not welcome. Not among his own clan, not among the others.
Not if he... Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not if he makes his entrance like he has lately.
No. Exactly. It's difficult to think of a more rude way he could possibly have introduced himself.
I can't think of one. I shall think.
That seems like a troubling sort of thought process, Margot. I'm not sure it's worth it.
I've seen people break down doors, and even that is not as rude. And she'll just smile.
Johanna folds her hands in front of her. They just kind of disappear into the fabric of her robes, and she smiles too. I'm gonna roll that. Breaking down doors, totally fine, not triggery.
Not trigger.
Oh.
See, just fine. 7 successes of everything's fine. Actually, it's 6 because I forgot my wound penalties because I'm a dumb.
Still, oh my god. I think that's the best roll that's ever been rolled in Dice Roller 1.
Because Dice Roller 1 is evil. He's evil.
Oh, sad.
Well, I can't possibly. I have 5 dice, so I can possibly beat that.
I have 7 die. I might be able to beat it. Bug it. Damn.
Damn it.
Alas. So, yep, she just smiles. Doors are fine. No problem with doors. And how have you been?
I had a strange nightmare last night. But aside from that, my night has been quite alright. I've been relaxing. Surprisingly, my horrible nightmare hasn't put up to my mind.
What have you dreamed? It seems a number of people are dreaming dreams, having visions.
It was strange. I was being hunted down and I killed. Strange. I don't remember enough to put names. I can't even put faces to the people who I fought against. My life was in danger. They tried to kill me. I killed. It was actually like kind of very shaking thing. It was horrible.
Do you have visions?
Not normally. Never had visions before.
I hope it was simply a nightmare. There's certainly enough to give us nightmares. In a sleep.
What manner of bug? Oh.
Mosquitoes in the bathhouse are terrible.
What happened?
Big mosquito. It's a were mosquito in Krynos.
Oh, shit. Christ.
An awful idea. Oh God.
And
Well, I've been
wait,
sleeping noise.
we have an ST here. Will Margaret remember the name Lucette, or will she remember that she had another name? ST.
I don't think he's at his computer.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Oh well.
Margot, have you been warned about the hunters?
The ones outside, yeah, I've heard about them. Have they managed to get in?
Yes. Yes, they're about a foot in the city. They attacked my little home during the day. But my people drove them off. There's a Toreador in their possession, though.
So I see there's what?
There's a Toreador in their possession. Oh my God. Guys, I have to go to sleep soon. My brain is like a derber, 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 derber. They've captured a Toreador. I believe they're, if I understand what the fledgling told me correctly, they've captured several of us and are feeding off of us.
I had heard this before, but now they have a member of our clan. Actually, I'll just sigh with a visible bit of annoyance more than anger. They feed on us, and now they resort to such cowardly ways as capturing us.
Cowardly is a strange epithet, but yes. Yes, they have resorted to such tactics. It will not save them. Nothing can save them now.
Jothmar. Well, hopefully we'll rat them out too.
Yes.
Have we got any information on them? Names, faces?
Both. A few of them. And we know where they are. They've all clustered in a little hamlet outside the city. The trouble is that they've some sort of angel with them. Makes the powers of the blood inert. It'll be a different fight than we're used to.
Shall not. We should maybe try and draw them out without their angelic help.
Yes. Yes. Not entirely certain how to do so, but that would make it easier. Though if we're to retrieve our sister, I think we shall have to confront this angel face to face.
I never fought an angel before, so I'll be. I'm not one that looks forward to a fight. But if we have to fight it, I hope we all make it out.
I've also not fought an angel before. It troubles me a little.
Well, my dearest Joanna, it would perhaps comfort you that you are most likely an angel yourself.
She turns. Gives Madeline a grin. And then she'll go and move to kiss her on either cheek, too. Good evening, Madeline. You
I hear
flatter
you
me.
are discussing the newest tenants outside of the city.
Yes. I was trying to say that they kidnapped the Toreador, but I'm not my most eloquent tonight.
I fear it will involve everyone in this city before long. Some of the things that dearest Irene said was happening at that place was quite disconcerting.
Yes. And there are enough of them that when we begin to restore the silence, it will be difficult to explain.
Truly.
They're protected by their numbers, if for no other reason than that their disappearance would make a great deal of noise.
Well, that is quite likely the case. Well, perhaps we should work on a quite visible and likely explanation as to where they live.
Yes.
Acceptable to the plague, we are currently experiencing. We are currently experiencing a plague.
Well, one could fear that this will not keep them away. In the case that it does not, well, we will find a way to make them leave, but, well. If they are truly what Irene says, you must find a solution soon. Madeline just kind of shakes her head as she just realizes that she hasn't said hello to everyone else. And she will just go the rounds and just say hello to the Wise, Ulrich the Wise, and Margot, and whoever is present. I see an Andrew. Is Gerard present?
Well, since you asked, he is going to insert himself in the conversation right after. What was it Madeline last said?
That we need to take care of them soon.
Yes.
That we might have to do something quite soon.
Yes. He is going to step in, as he is wont to do, and say, "The thought had crossed my mind a few times. Greetings, everyone."
Good evening, Gerard. And she will drop a curtsy.
Good evening.
Don't everyone rush at once.
Gerard, always a pleasure.
Likewise.
Tell me, Gerard, have you any concrete plans to help the city with this growing threat? We have so much to see to, but this seems to be a threat quite specifically targeted at us.
Nothing concrete as of yet. Not sure what concrete is at this point in history, but nothing solid as of yet. I'm sure you've already thought of a likely course of action.
A couple. To be.
Have you?
Yes, but almost all of them are, what shall we say, complicated by the fact that the city is, well, the plague is present and wreaking the havoc it is wreaking. It is putting quite a strain on us. Also, our ability to contend with the situation as this.
The plague is quite the inconvenience.
It is. And yet, perhaps something may be done on a temporary basis to deal with whatever obstacles you're considering. I cannot say I have any particularly good plans myself, but if you strike upon one that seems very promising, I pray you'll tell me. Perhaps I can clear obstacles for you.
Well, I will indulge people, the court, in a plan when I have one that I seem feasible.
She nods. Excellent, I look forward to it.
I'm certain it will be a masterstroke, as ever.
As always, I do the best for the city. And the best I can. Just kind of looks at Gerard for a moment and just seems to just take him in and just say, well,
Gerard
Gerard.
slowly cocks an eyebrow.
Gerard, I wonder, will you be assisting us with, hopefully, bringing a speedier end to the plague? You are such an upstanding member of our great city, and you are a warrior of quite some repute, quite an excellent one, as far as I know. Surely you would assist us in ridding the city of these plague rats?
Yeah, I was gonna roll to keep her face expressionless and not look even a little bit amused. Two successes. Her expression remains placid.
Internet had a moment. Sorry about that.
Welcome back. Did you hear Madeline's question?
I heard the string of backhanded compliments.
Oh, Madeline will look just, she just asked you, or she said something to the effect of, Gerard, I'm not certain, but will you be assisting us in our attempts to end the plague, or at least bring its end to a more hasty?
He just dropped again. I'm sorry. His
Oh,
computer
God
can't
damn
handle
it, Andrew.
Is it as like the Ventru in the sewers? Unthinkable.
I would always well,
You
if it's
get to
just him
already
leaving,
hang out
not,
and refresh.
yeah, but like if it was just him leaving for just a suggestion, I would just be, that would be so great. But anyways, I'll try again. Third time's a charm.
I got you. I got you. Are you going to help us bring an end to the plague? You're such an
Yeah.
upstanding citizen. Yada yada yada.
Yeah. Exactly. And she's essentially asking you. You will be joining us in the sewers / catacombs, killing rats, right? That's
Gerard's
essentially what
going
she's asking
to
you.
smile and say, "Yes." Gerard is going to smile and say, "My dearest Madeline, the future is ever so clouded. I cannot be certain what my next course of action is, though, of course, if I am available and able, I will see that my talents are lent to the expedition. But, as ever, one must consider his position."
And
I
if you
believe-
consider your position would be to assist in removing this problem from the city, no? It is paramount for all.
There is a definite possibility. Though
Glad to hear it.
no guarantee, unfortunately.
That is a shame.
There are greater matters at hand still. This tactician still resides somewhere within the city, and if not in the sewers, there are still countermeasures to be made.
That is what we hope to gather information of, or catch him down there. So, I do believe that everyone should be involved in making sure that this would be done as swiftly and as smoothly as possible.
Sadly, some of us cannot, upon threat of death.
Oh, well, there are certain political ramifications that I understand takes precedence. Their loss, I suppose.
And yet such courtesies are precisely the reason that I suspect the scoundrel thought the sewers would hide him in the first place.
She just looks to Joanna and just says, quite right. There was really only one clan who seems to normally stay in such places. And the fact that they are themselves pressured by these monstrosities down there seems that it would be a place for him to stay quite alone, quite by himself, quite uninterrupted in whatever his ultimate plan for this, or all of this is, if he is in the city, of course.
Not alone. He seems to have at least one companion. And she is a creature of legend in her own right.
Strange.
Strange.
What would convince anyone to follow a person like this? Other than a blood bond or a certain discipline I could think of.
I have wondered the same thing.
He knows what he has promised her.
No,
When one wanders the world long enough, they are bound to find like-minded individuals.
and yet the stories speak of her as a saint. It's hard to understand why she would keep company with someone who dabbles so carelessly in slaughter, slow death, disease.
Stories are told by the victor, Johanna.
What did you say?
Stories are told by the victor.
You're very right.
But we all know the power of the blood bond. She just, like Madeline, just cracks a bit of a smile and she says that. And she just says, it is quite possible that that is more than enough to convince people to follow his whim.
What a terrible thought. I don't like the idea of trying to rescue a saint from herself. It'll certainly be an interesting night.
Quite so. I hope to see you there, Gerard. It has been so long since we have truly been working together on something. It brings me back to those days we would be at Elysium when I could enjoy your company.
Nostalgia doesn't suit you very well, Madeline. I'd like
No?
to think of you as more of a visionary.
I was merely thinking back of a treasured moment.
I do seem to recall it. Things were simpler back then.
Quite so. You may think me flippant, but I do remember a time where you defended me, or at least took up arms to defend me, without any hesitation. I remember such things as well. I suppose that at that specific time, the caitiff is a thing that unites us all. In condemnation, but oh well.
Well, alliances change.
Start
I would, but alas.
Also, Madeline, anytime I roll manip sub, take off the last 2 dice. So for Madeline, she had no successes.
Yeah,
on the
like
last one.
that last comment wasn't like that seemed to be just Madeline reminiscent of something. You can probably tell that it's something a while ago, since she's talking about back in the day. You know that is at least 50 years ago, if not more. But there doesn't seem to be like there's. You can probably tell by both Gerard and Madeline. There's certainly something in there, but that last part actually seemed uncharacteristically, in this context, genuine. That
Okay.
she actually meant that he defended her, which might seem a little strange.
And 1 success on Gerard.
Gerard clearly is dubious. I mean, she's telling the truth, but he doesn't seem to care much for it.
Thank you.
Yes, of rats and caitiffs and tacticians and saints. Things certainly array against us. Perhaps one day we will fight alongside each other. We shall see. the future is ever in flux.
Well, that is
Nonsense.
true. I do not think that will be a reality anytime soon, but oh well.
Nonsense. We fight alongside each other even if it is not physical. We fight a common enemy. Although perhaps at different times and different places.
Madeline just looks at Ulrich, and then she just looks at Gerard and just says, "We fight our enemies. Anyway." And as she says that, she's looking at Gerard.
I have 6 for successes, please.
Madeline clearly inclined that Gerard is not her friend, and she is not fighting on the side of Gerard at this moment. That was fairly clear. And like, yeah, we fight our enemies. Like, like she does not seem to say that we fight a common enemy at this time. For whatever reason.
Ooh, man. I want to pee me that as well.
Yeah.
God damn it. Get it. Probably not enough to get the same result.
No, I have no successes. But Robbie has 4. Margaret doesn't have any.
It's no 6 and the 10s don't explode, sadly.
Yeah, you get that there's, well, I don't think, yeah, that's, but yeah, like, Ulrich, you can also tell that there's like, she's indicating something to that effect of, like, yeah.
Gerard just smiles and says, well, when in the heat of battle, sometimes the lines between friends and enemy blur and mistakes happen, and I should hate for that to spoil such an exhibition of camaraderie.
Perhaps the wisest.
It certainly will not.
Well,
I will make it a
you will
personal
be
mission.
missed. You will be missed. Alas.
You're on his
Such a
eyes,
great
Marion.
warrior. Such a great warrior not to fight along the side to the help of the city. But it not. Some might think it strange that you would not help the city, but oh well.
The kind of waves. Have you not heard my words, madam?
It would seem that she has made the decision for me.
I should hope not. We will need every fang, every blade to fight this particular battle. And I am quite certain Madeline will not declare herself an enemy of the city in such a way.
The sewers are dark.
They are. And what is darkness to us?
Some, it matters more than others.
Yes. Yes, it does. But there will be eyes. Every eye will be watching, I hope. If there's any hope that we have to defeat a legend in her own right, and someone who has flummoxed the best efforts of the city's Cappadocians, will be in working together as he cannot have expected.
Again, it's difficult to see what the future holds.
Perhaps an oath beforehand You make an interesting point. And I would have none go into the sewers, worried that their companions might turn on them. We'll find quite enough shit down there. We need not bring it with us.
Sometimes it's unavoidable.
She turns and reaches to touch Madeline's sleeve with 2 fingers. But not this time, I hope.
Madeline just looks to Joanna and she will give like a nod to her. She just seems to think of it for a moment and just looks at Gerard. Just says, in the interest of peace, in the interest of solving this plague as soon as possible, I can certainly make such promises.
Gerard smiles. I'm certain that you are able to make those promises. It is another matter entirely to keep them.
Johanna keeps her expression calm.
Gerard, you are a noble, honorable man. That is what I hear, that is what I understand. And I am quite understanding that you would doubt a person like me. I am not of noble birth. I am quite from very, very simple beginnings. Cloistered sister and thrown out from that even. Breaking one vow to Jesus. I understand completely. But would it not be fair to say that I am not the only one who has broken rules? Would it not be fair for me to assume that I would be the one risking things to make an arrangement? Would I not be the one to take the risk in this endeavor?
You're already risking so much. Simply by exerting yourself on behalf of Faradessa. I don't go by the masks we wear before mortals, or even each other when they come to it. Nobility, religion, all of these things. I am able to make oaths based solely on faith. And whether or not I have faith in your intentions or not, that is truly the question at hand. And the same applies for you. Whose faith is stronger?
Mine.
Well, there you have it. He gestures to Johanna.
There will be quite enough danger to go around.
Well, I also suppose it means, what faith? Faith in what?
In each other.
In the inconvenience of this plague. And how dreadfully inconvenient it would be if anything were to go amiss in the sewers that might tear apart a fragile peace that it stands between us and our attacker.
And that, my dear, is putting faith in forces unknown.
Such as?
Whatever lies at the darkest parts of the sewer. And whether that is truly all that lies between us and peace.
Mm. I suppose. We shall see.
I should like to hear what Madeline's plans are concerning the hunters in the nearby town whenever she's ready to deliver them. As for the business in the sewers, I'll let all of you know.
Johanna makes a gesture that isn't a curtsy, but it's like a tip of her head and a wave of her hand that is basically shorthand for a curtsy, accepting that as a good faith sort of promise whether or not he intends to follow through.
Oh, now such dour business.
And she turns to look at Madeline.
Surely there's something more lighthearted to speak about.
I do believe there is. Many things. Poetry. I believe most here was at the previous outing where we read to each other. Of course, I have not brought any.
You are correct, and yet I would not like to emulate that night. It ended poorly, however pleasantly it began.
Well, it is true.
And it began very pleasantly, Margot. I thank you.
We could speak of good news. The fact that the outskirts are once again seemingly clear, no longer pestered by bullies and brigands. Very fortunate event.
Yes, well, we are taking the utmost strides in the wider world to defeat banditry where it rests
It's
and
so
wherever
good.
it thrives.
Yes. So very well. So very good to know that we are in such capable hands.
Indeed.
Johanna glances between Madeline Gerard and will find herself a seat. She can clasp her hands in her lap.
Like, even with out of character, even with Gerard's mention of lighter topics, you can probably cut the atmosphere in this room with a knife. Just saying.
Have you good news from Timuran?
Well, they are good, but they are also quite boring. The streets are safe. And people are worried about the plague, but it is as it has always been, safe, calm, and free of plague.
A strange thing. And so fortunate. Have you not been troubled by the hunters in Timuran? I've been afraid they would chase down Irene, as they did the Malkavian.
Well, that is the... Timuran is smaller than Edessa, but it also means that Ulrich and myself have a What shall we say? Complete control over who comes in and comes out, both during the night and during the day. And the plague has given us a excuse to expel all those who come from Edessa, whether they be hunters or whoever. So, when we do this, well, they might come to the city gates, but be turned away. It's quite simple. And this is during the day, so there are no Canaanites anyway. Nothing that they can do. They can simply look at the well-armed guards and try to argue, but not be let in. Quite simple.
Sounds like Eden indeed.
Ethan.
It is quite lovely.
It does have beautiful gardens. Eventually, perhaps it will offer some competition to Edessa.
When things come down, when we solve this plague problem, I am sure that you will assist us best we can.
I was looking forward to the competition, but now I look forward to the assistance even more.
It is a mutually beneficial position both cities are in. They are on the Silk Road, but the commerce assists both cities.
Yes. It will be. I look forward to it. I tire of this plague. These nuisances. Edessa and all her children. And when she says children, she kind of gestures towards the walls as though she means the hamlets and Timorin. Offer so much more than we are able to enjoy while the streets are filled with the sick and dying. And everything must go to quashing rats.
Hopefully there will be not much crushing or crashing, but simply a swift end to most of them.
I hope so. I've prepared nets.
Hopefully
the crushing is
those will not be necessary either, but a good preparation to make.
She nods.
I am terribly sorry that I came so late, but I wished to visit this place once more. But I am. You can see that she looks, and there's one of her ghouls just come in and is just standing there waiting for her, and she just. I am afraid I must be leaving you again. It is sad that it could not last longer, but well. Tomorrow there is another night, and perhaps we can meet again. And she gets up, and she will begin to bid farewell to everyone. And she will bid farewell first to Margot, then to Johanna, then to Ulrich, and then to Gerard, when she will seemingly just do the same that she would do with anyone else as she bids farewell. And yeah, Madeline will begin to leave, and the player will go to bed now.
Good
Good
night.
evening, Madeline.
Good.
Hmm. Johanna watches her go with a very thoughtful look. That is not a frown, because Johanna is much too well bred to scowl.
Aldrich certainly frowns with all the very many lines of his face.
Yeah, Margot is a more of a smile when she sees when Lady Madeline leaves. Well, one thing I've wondered is if we could perhaps, instead of getting rid of the plague entirely, move it to where the hunters are, or how effective that can be with a angel amongst them.
You're not wrong. We'll have to try several strategies before we find one that is not defeated by this angel. Unless we could simply remove him first. I'm curious. I've never met an angel. But alas, not seen the time to become acquainted, as this one is inconvenient.
There are many tales of angels. They are described in many ways.
Yes.
What did the report on this angel say?
Sorry, what did she say?
What did the reports on this angel say?
That he has surrounded himself with followers, and that the powers of the blood do not work on him or many of them, that they recognize us, even if we think ourselves hidden, and call us by name. All very dangerous things.
It seems intriguing as to why an angel would encourage mortals to drink the blood of the Canaanite.
It does, doesn't it? It certainly does. I understand he calls himself the martyr, and I wonder what it is he bears witness to. I admit I am a little skeptical about what an angel entails.
Certainly not this man.
What did he say?
Certainly not this man.
You doubt he's an angel, Aldrich?
I do.
Why's that?
This man has some means of blocking out abilities, powers of the blood. However, this man is no angel, only a strange zealot with a hatred towards our kind.
Can you be certain?
From the actions of which I've heard.
I see.
An angel doesn't speak in words. An angel speaks in action. And an angel that would lift a hand to combat such... I'm afraid I'm at a loss for words. An angel that would intervene in such a worldly matter would certainly see such an angel cast to hell.
An interesting theological question.
Worldly matters are the domain of angels and demons.
They are. I would much rather think that it is not an angel. But I'm not entirely convinced by your argument. She smiles at Aldrich. They've probably had many arguments like this before.
Mm-hmm.
And she enjoys them.
Indeed, perhaps what is with them, what guides them, is no angel, but the creature itself think it is.
An interesting distinction. I too should take my leave. I have things to do. Nets to finish. Another coat of oil to add to whatever I intend to wear in the sewers. Ugh.
Indeed. Indeed. And I the desire to sit in a room full of well-lit candles. I wish to wash myself of this darkness.
She's gonna pee any of that. Hang on.
Yeah.
Ever present the darkness. It is indeed our lot.
6.
With I'll give it to both you guys with successes. It's pretty much an expression of distaste at what certain shadows had transpired.
Capiche. Johanna's going to drop a deep curtsy to the entire assembled company. And as she says, Margot, thank you for your hospitality. Gerard, a pleasure as always.
You are always welcome here, Margaret. You're always welcome here, Your Honor. And I shall see you tomorrow.
She not? And she doesn't have to say anything to Aldrich. She just smiles at him and says everything with her smile. And then she heads out, and the player just goes to bed.
I do believe it is time for me to leave as well. I only meant to stop by.
I thank you for coming by.
And thank you for having us, Lady Margot.
Just now, my pleasure.
Have you business in the city, Alger? Perhaps you would like an escort.
I much would. And I
Well,
thank you kindly.
shall we?
Aldrich gives a polite bow to Margot and heads for the door.
Gerard follows.
And Margot bows to them. Unless you guys have anything to add, we can end the scene there.
Mhm.
Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing, and we'll see you on another episode of Edessa the Dark.